Alright YouTube, what's up? Fortune, I'm here. Like I said, I'd start doing more videos, and this is one of two that I'm going to have today. I don't know if they'll be up by midnight because it takes forever, but so I had a couple people ask me for a Underworld deck that my teammate was playing a while ago in older videos, so I figured I'd post his most updated build of it. He currently has the cards, so I've had to resort to using Dueling Network to show the deck, but he was able to send me the deck list, so I'm just gonna get right to it. Yeah, so there we go. There we go. So 3 Grapha, obvious staple. Don't need to say anything about that. He's your beast of the deck that keeps coming back. 3 Snow, your ultimate searcher, easy as can be to pull off, and it's even a beast. It can be a beast if you normal summon the gate, because then you can deck Devastation Virus it if you need the situation. 3 Broww, you're more of your draw engine. Just you need 3. These are basically the 3s you need in any Underworld deck you make that I've ever seen. So 1 Fabled Raven. It's always good to have the 1 because you want enough discard outlets in your deck that you draw into them enough, but at the same time, unlike other cards, like they can side Geminiums and stuff like that, this card gets around it. And the ability to use like Synchros, even though they're pretty much on the delay low right now, they're still, it can catch people off guard. So, and this card is like card destruction. If you have this with enough guys in your hand, you can pretty much win on that turn. So 2 Beiige, good for recurring Grapha over and over again. Good for the discard outlet. It's a level 4, so it helps you get into the level 4 exceeds if you need be and everything like that. So, and not a bad attack. 2 Trance Archfiend. This card is awesome. Damn, there's clear. There we go. It's awesome. This card is like next to like turn early game. This card is really good. Like, I don't know what else to say about it. It's like, and it looks kind of cool. But it's like, it's another discard outlet like Raven, and its effect can help you get back stuff that they decrowed or that you removed with your Allure or your Gate or whatever, and give you monsters in the hand when you need them. So 3 Tourguide. It's Tourguide. You basically run this card in decks. It's, if you own them, you run them. There's people could say different, but I don't care what I honestly don't believe anything. It's, you have to run this card if you own it. It's just the way that the game is. It's sad, but it's true. And 1 Dark Arm Dragon. This deck can manipulate the grave really easily, so just with the matter of like, you can Grapha, you can Gate, you can do so many number of things that you can manipulate the graveyard really easily to be able to drop him. So, and it's 1 monster, so it's not like it takes up a lot. Spells. 2 Underworld dealings. We tried 3, but our build is not focused on like straight up turbo, because what's the point of building a Underworld deck focused on turbo when it's obvious in almost every scenario you cannot outspeed the top decks. You can outspeed windups. Like, there's no way, it's near impossible for the deck to just go off turn 1. And if your opponent opens, and if you win the dice roll with this deck against a windup deck, the chance of you being able to fill your grave super fast and get all this stuff going doesn't happen very often. So unless you've got counters, which we base our deck more around countering the meta and controlling the game state, then using like crazy ass draw power with like 3 dealings, trade-ins, 3 drag downs and all that, it's like they're just gonna loop you, and then you're basically down to top decking again. You might have set a couple cards to get around it, but if you don't know you're playing against windups at the same time and you don't commit to the field, it's like they could just loop you, and there you go, now you're top decking against it. And this deck does not top deck well. In the most part, like, it doesn't top deck well at all. Unless they happen to mill a Grapha that was in your hand or something like that and you top deck monsters, but even then it's still hard to come back. So, okay, 2 dealings. 3 Gate, that's a staple. I don't need to say anything about it. It feels Trance Archfiend's ability to recur something. It's your draw power. It sends all your guys' effects off and everything like that. So 2 drag down. We found 3 was overkill, because you don't always have a monster that's worth discarding. Like I said, we don't run Silvas or Golds. We test them and we just found we didn't like them very often. So, and there's not really a lot to drop except for like Beiige, which I'd rather have a normal summon that you can bounce with Grapha versus a dead tribute in your hand if you can't seem to get it out. So, and 2 drag downs still is enough to give you enough information on your opponent's hand to see when you can push. So, Book of Moon, Heavy Storm, Foolish Burial. I've seen some builds that don't run Foolish, and I don't know why. It helps benefit Dark Arm if necessary, and it gets your Grapha to the grave really fast, which is key because you can just keep bouncing. It just gives you the ability to keep dropping a big ass beater on the field every time. So, Reborn and Card Destruction, card destruction, probably probably the most broken spell in the deck. If you combo that with like 3 or 4 Dark Roll effects, you basically win that turn, or you're going to win the game. Like, there's no ifs, ands, about it. The amount of pluses this card can bring in this deck is unbelievable. Too bad he never draws the card, but that's besides the point. But yeah. And 1 Allure of Darkness. The entire deck is dark minus, what, Raven? So it's like 18 monsters. It's like, so 17 monsters are dark, so you can get the effect off all the time. And it used to go back and forth with Dark Roll players because they didn't want to remove their things because it made it so that they had to Levier back into it. But now with Trance Archfiend out, you can just get it back with Trance Archfiend, so. And traps. Solemn Judgment, 1 Dark Smog. We originally had 2 when plants were more popular, but now that they've fallen off the face of the earth, basically, because they can't compete anymore. It's like, okay, yeah, you got wind-ups, but they don't really, like, it hurts wind-ups, but it doesn't hurt wind-ups enough. And it does absolutely nothing to Dino Rabbit. Nothing at all. Like, you instantly side this card out against Dino Rabbit in most cases. And it hurts Insectors, but Insectors have ways around it, and well, at the same time, it's like, it's a good card, but I wouldn't run more than 1 in the main deck. Maybe side 1, so. 2 Mind Crush, in my opinion, is staple in this deck. Not staple in any other deck in the game, pretty much, but staple in this deck. And here comes the more weird stuff, like 2 Fiendish Chain, that's pretty standard. We tried Skill Drain, and we liked it, but the ability, it kind of sucked at the same time when you lock down your Tourguides when that's all you have in your hand, or the Raven, or something like that. Like, yeah, okay. Well, not really so much Raven, because you can still get the effect off to discard, I believe, and such. But it's like, Fiendish Chain is just, in my opinion, is better. And he sides 3 Skill Drains, so I guess it doesn't really matter. And 2 Compulsory. He really likes this card. I'm back and forth on it. It's good, but at the same time, you got to know when to play it at the right time. So it goes, in my opinion, it goes back and forth. And 1 Deck Devastation Virus. We might try and get to him, but it's not like it's an easy thing. Like, he's got 1 on the side, so if anything, we'd probably drop like Compulsory for it or something. But currently, we're liking the 2 and 2. It seems to work really well to help control the game state some. So, and extra deck. 2 Levier, pretty standard. There's a lot of level 3s in this deck that you can spam to the field, so, well, not really a lot, but there's enough. Let's just put that way, there's enough to benefit it. 1 Zen Mains, 2's Overkill, 1 Leviathan Dragon. Kind of want 2, but at the same time, and it's hard to say with that one because it's like some decks can benefit hard from it. This deck really only has like Tourguide into Broww. Like, it basically is the only way for the most part to bring out level 3. So 1 Giga Brilliant card is really good. Not as much in this deck, but it's just good. It's just worthy of a spot. 1 Roach. Roach is Roach is good. It's, I don't know how to explain Roach. It's like, you want Roach in your extra deck in most cases for those random situations you come across where you play a rogue deck like Agents, because Roach can be really key in Agents to stop their Hyperions and stuff like that, and Christias if they run it from getting to the field. So, and one Utopia. Utopia is just Utopia, so you always throw Utopia in there because it has a good stall factor, and now you have to be a little more careful to drop it because of everybody's using Utopia Ray. So, and the Synchros. One Cataster is our level 5. One Bryanak is our level 6. He's got Black Rose and Stardust, and I believe Wyvern level 7 too. Yeah. So he's got Black Rose, Ancient Fairy Dragon, and Ancient Sacred Wyvern. Wyvern wins games. Black Rose is just Black Rose. Ancient Fairy was mostly in there, old school, but for the chance that you come across like a Gravekeeper deck and you drop this, pop their Necro Valley and search your deck for one of your gates. So it's like, and there's not really much you would drop out of it to not put it in there. So, and the 8s, one Stardust, pretty much a staple. One Scrap Dragon, pretty much a staple, and a Dark Highlander, which I don't think is going to stay in there very long because nobody synchro summons anymore. Like, maybe keep it in there in case you come against random 6 Samurai decks, but at the same time, it's like, it's not hard for them to just go, okay, I'm going to go Fiendish Chain, turn it off, and then special summon, or I'm going to go blah 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 this, hand a 6 Samurai, pop it, and then do it. So, but yeah, so that's the Dark World deck. Like I said, I said I was going to post it. I'm just going to say this is the deck of the month for February. Why not? So I've still got one coming for March. It's probably going to be it's either my deck or one of my teammates' wind-up decks that I'm going to do probably. So, and that'll actually have real cards to show off. So, let me know what you guys think. Post in the comments below. Make sure if you're not subscribed, to subscribe. Get any of your friends to subscribe, because I'm going to actually start pushing hard for subscriptions this time around. The more subscriptions I get means the more contests I'll throw, and the more contests I throw means the more prizes for you guys. So, yeah. Alright, fortune out.